His strikes are faster than wind, and his knockouts louder than thunder. He has conquered kickboxing, MMA, and professional boxing with his incredible prowess. Tenshin Nasukawa is a genuine samurai of the new generation, who doesn't just brawls but transforms every fight into a true art. This Japanese prodigy has literally changed the game, and at such a young age, he's already become a true legend of martial arts, with 0 losses throughout his entire career.
Pose with just...
And now we will tell you about the remarkable journey of the Japanese phenomenon and his stunning KOs. This is Boxing Game. Here we go. Nasukawa was born in 1998 in the land of the rising sun. Starting karate at the age of 5, Tenshin soon transitioned to kickboxing, making his professional debut at just 15 years old. The honor of facing the future legend was bestowed upon his fellow countryman, Tomoya Arimatsu. Arimatsu was significantly older and had much more experience, but that didn't intimidate our debutante in the slightest. Spending a few seconds to adjust his aim, Tenshin greeted his opponent with a powerful left, spectacularly knocking him down. Arimatsu miraculously managed to get back on his feet, but the dazed look in his eyes clearly showed that he was already suffering from brain fog. In turn, Tenshin sensed blood and, like a predator, began to tear into his prey. After a relentless attack, Nasukawa unleashed a high kick that nearly beheaded his opponent, sending his lifeless body crashing to the canvas. Thus, the young Tenshin Nasukawa proclaimed that a new star had lit up the fighting world's sky. Making a bold statement, Tenshin Nasukawa went on to dominate his opponents with a lethal combination of kicks, knees, and hooks. Seasoning it all with a rolling thunder and cartwheel kicks, he staged a true spectacle, captivating the audience with every move. Along the way, getting the chance to fight for the Rise Gold, he literally outclassed Yuta Murakoshi, making his fellow countrymen's legs perform the Tokyo Drift over and over again. And as he claimed his first belt, the young fighter couldn't hold back his emotions. But gold alone wasn't enough for him, and it wasn't long before he ruthlessly entered the Blade Organization's one-day tournament, starting his hunt like a bloodthirsty vampire. In the quarterfinal, he effortlessly dismantled the future Rise champion, Masahiro Suzuki, finishing the fight in just 91 seconds. Breaking into the semi-final, Tenshin wasted no time in dazzling the audience with the choreography of his kicks, only bringing his fists into play afterward. Eventually, he finished his opponent with a signature left on the backswing. Boom. Roasted. final, he faced the shootboxing champion, Taiki Naito. Two of the strongest fighters met in the ring, but only one would claim the gold. And then, the bell sounded. Naito charged forward aggressively, throwing kicks, but Nasukawa immediately made it clear he wasn't here to play games and swiftly sent his opponent to the canvas, almost beheading him. At one point, it seemed like Naito wanted to crawl out of the ring, but he had no intention of giving up so easily. Getting back on his feet, he initiated a brutal exchange, managing to land some significant damage on Tenshin. But he shouldn't have messed with Nasukawa's hairstyle, as just moments later, Tenshin made him kneel as if before his emperor. Realizing it was time to finish his wounded prey, Nasukawa charged at his opponent and literally knocked the remaining consciousness out of him. That evening, Tenshin received not only a new belt, but also a $25,000 bonus. After the fight, he was able to calmly head home and watch a new series of his favorite anime. Continuing his ascent to the kickboxing pinnacle, Nasukawa built an impressive record of 16-0, becoming a true boogeyman for any opponent. But stepping up to the next level, he was set to face a truly dangerous opponent, the Thai champion Wanchalong, who was a protege of the legendary Saenchai. The high-profile bout promised to deliver a truly spectacular fight for the fans, but as soon as the bell sounded, the Thai fighter made a sneaky move, and in response to Nasukawa's extended hand, shamelessly kicked him. The Japanese wunderkind was stunned and decided to teach the scoundrel some manners, who had completely forgotten what honor was.
Believe it! So fast with those kicks. Wanchalong firing back, but eating blow after blow here. Combination upon combination. Tenshin Nasukawa teeing off on Wanchalong here.
Nasukawa aggressively introduced the Thai fighter to his Tenshin combinations, but the tough Thai desperately begged for more, not forgetting to fight back.
And he wants, looking for a high knee there. The kick there, Wanchalong. Straight in there, inside the... Looking to put it on the face of Wanchalong, clocks it.
But the young Japanese fighter decided not to drag out the fight, and after feeding Wanchalong a low kick, delivered a fatal Ushirogari, sending him to the realm of dreams in an instant.
Oh, spinning kick there from Tenshin Nasukawa. Puts Wanchalong on the canvas.
While Nasukawa celebrated his victory, the Thai fighter struggled to regain consciousness. However, he was still unable to leave the arena on his own. It was a long night for Wanchalong, as he kept dominating his opponents and delivering thrilling highlights for the fans. Nasukawa earned the chance to face a true legend, Rodtang Jitmuangnon, known as the Iron Man. By that time, Rodtang was the reigning One Championship Muay Thai World Champion on a streak of 13 consecutive wins. Rodtang and Nasukawa were set to battle for the Rise World Championship title. The stakes were incredibly high because Tenshin had never faced opposition of such an elite level before. Meanwhile, Rodtang was eager to extend his winning streak and destroy the young upstart. From the very first seconds, the fight began to live up to the fans' expectations, as both fighters had a lot to prove. Nasukawa combined punches and kicks in his usual style, gradually seizing the advantage. But the metal-headed Thai didn't seem to care. He moved forward recklessly, absorbing punches and greedily asking for more. It appeared that Rodtang was truly consumed by the fight, and the only thing he desired was limitless violence. The Thai's relentless pressure paid off, and he seized the initiative back in the second half of the fight. Nasukawa was struggling to keep up with the pressure, but the young Japanese wasn't about to give up just like that, and shook the air with a rolling thunder. The final bell rang, and the audience fell silent in anticipation. Everyone was wondering who would emerge victorious in this festival of violence. But the judges decided to extend this brutal spectacle and declared a draw, meaning the fighters would have to face an extra round. Looking at Rodtang, it seemed like he could keep doing this all day, and Tenshin's sister anxiously watched her brother. The extra round began, and the fighters gave it their all. In these moments, the stakes were too high, and neither fighter could afford to lose. But only one could emerge victorious from this battle. In this intense clash, Tenshin claimed a hard-fought but well-deserved victory. Nasukawa proved that even legends like Rodtang were no match for him, continuing his rise to the top. Between destroying opponents in kickboxing, Tenshin Nasukawa decided to try his hand at a new challenge and set out to conquer the world of MMA by competing in the prestigious Risen organization. The skilled striker turned to legendary compatriot Kazushi Sakuraba to sharpen his grappling skills. Soon after, he stepped into his first MMA fight, and his opponent was Ukrainian fighter Nikita Sapun. Having had enough of low kicks, the Ukrainian fighter initiated a change of levels, hoping to gain the upper hand. Nasukawa accepted the challenge, but got carried away, and Sapun nearly ripped his arm off. But after escaping the tough position, Tenshin decided not to make the same mistake again. He didn't let the Ukrainian get up and unleashed a brutal ground and pound on him. The Ukrainian should have been grateful to the referee for stopping the fight in time. After securing a victory in the first round, Tenshin requested his next fight and was back in the ring just 2 days later. His opponent was the kickboxer Kawika Oligo. Unable to withstand Tenshin's initial onslaught, Oligo began to wrestle. But in Tenshin's eyes, it was clear he was thinking, "Oh, so you're the wrestler now?" However, in his attempt to seize the advantage, Oligo made a fatal mistake, and Nasukawa turned the ring into a real torture chamber. Barely making it to the second round, the poor guy immediately took a brutal 1-2 and dropped like a sack of rice. Once again trying to save himself on the ground, Oligo willingly stuck his head into the beast's jaws and recklessly gave up his neck. And Tenshin recalled Sakuraba's advice, choking the poor guy out cold. Thus, Tenshin secured his second victory in MMA, while his opponent was unable to regain consciousness for a long time. A couple of months later, Nasukawa stepped into the MMA arena once again, and his opponent was the Italian Francesco Ghigliotti. But after spending just over a minute with the Italian, Tenshin quickly turned him into spaghetti bolognese. Nasukawa's last MMA fight was against Yamato Fujita. Miraculously surviving the monstrous encounter with the canvas in the first round, Fujita spent the rest of the bout desperately fighting to stay alive. And Nasukawa added another victory to his record. With a record of 4-0, Tenshin immediately received an offer from the UFC. But he wasn't in a hurry to move to the best league in the world, deciding to focus 100% on kickboxing. But nevertheless, he promised to transition to MMA or professional boxing in 5 years. After all, he still had a fight ahead of him that would completely change his life. Returning to kickboxing, Tenshin Nasukawa continued to carry out a true genocide of his opponents. The level of opposition was getting increasingly dangerous, but Tenshin didn't care, as he wasn't just dominating, he was putting on a real show. And so, 20-year-old Tenshin Nasukawa faced Argentine fighter Federico Roma in the ring in Tokyo, who was eager to add the first defeat to the Japanese fighter's record. The Argentine was the WKN champion in the super flyweight division and had destroyed 8 opponents in a row before his fight with Nasukawa. The bell sounded, and the fight began.
Focus on the face of Federico Roma.
Nasukawa didn't show any Japanese hospitality and immediately sent the Argentine crashing to the canvas.
Tenshin Nasukawa both in southpaw.
From the very first seconds, breaking Roma mentally, the Wunderkind set about breaking his opponent physically.
Flying knee, rocking his head. Years of age.
Nasukawa kept feeding the Argentine punches.
Like, does he want a punch or like with a low kick now? Doesn't seem to have a clear vision.
And for dessert, he served a knockout right to the jaw. Roma tried to show he was okay, but his face betrayed him, revealing the pain and struggle he was trying to hide. The fight continued, and the Japanese fighter, having gathered enough chakra, assumed Baki's Triceratops fist pose and sent his opponent into the shadow realm.
And there is the classic Tenshin Nasukawa pose with just 90 seconds left on the clock. He knocks down the Argentinian.
After finishing the fight with an incredible knockout, Nasukawa added another victory to his record.
Saenchai, who he will face in July.
He had trouble making weight.
But Tenshin didn't gain universal recognition right away. Many haters said that all it would take to stop him was to keep a close eye on his legs. But Nasukawa decided to prove to everyone that his boxing was just as dangerous as his legs. A perfect opponent emerged on the horizon, the former boxer Kizaemon Saiga, who had recently made his way into kickboxing. Their fight took place in the first round of the Raisin Grand Prix. As soon as the bell sounded, the two warriors from the land of the rising sun clashed in a fierce battle, crossing their swords like samurais. But as soon as Tenshin started fighting seriously, Saiga looked like a defenseless child. After thoroughly tormenting Saiga, the young predator finally sent his prey to rest. With a powerful left cross, Nasukawa sent his opponent to the Phantom Zone, proving to the world that his explosive power wasn't just in his legs, but also in his hands. And Tenshin once again got all the attention. With a brutal dismantling of Yuta Hamamoto in the semifinal, and already beaten by MMA rules Yamato Fujita in the final, Tenshin added one more trophy to his collection and successfully welcomed 2018. He didn't know yet that it was this year that his life would change forever, starting the year with a victory over another Saenchai's protege, Suzuki. Nasukawa then faced former MMA fighter Yusaku Nakamura. Realizing the dangerous opponent in front of him, Nakamura kept trying to slow the pace and take the fight to the ground. But Tenshin instantly knocked those thoughts out of Nakamura's head, shaking the arena with a rolling thunder. Nakamura got back up, but that was a fatal mistake, as he found himself back on the canvas just moments later. Realizing there was no way back, Nakamura, like a kamikaze, charged forward, occasionally landing some blows on Tenshin. But Tenshin didn't appreciate this display of bravery and quickly made his opponent kneel. And just a few seconds later, he ended the fight with a lethal 1-2, much to the delight of his young fans. After incredible success in various organizations, the young star decided it was time for a new challenge. The whole world was shaken by the news that Tenshin Nasukawa was planning to have a boxing match, and his opponent would be none other than the legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr. Despite his age, the icon of sweet science was ready to show the young star that boxing was no game. But the wunderkind was confident in his abilities, despite being warned about the huge fine for every kick, and confidently claimed that he would knock out the legend. Then the moment when two representatives of different generations of elite fighters came face to face.
To literally knock out Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather said, "I do this in my sleep." 3 rounds.
The fight started, and the Japanese fearlessly went on the attack.
Earlier on, the greatest boxer of his generation. Referee asking him to keep the punches up. Nasukawa trying to use
But for Mayweather, apparently it was all just entertainment and not a fight.
Mayweather smiling, Nasukawa serious.
This behavior infuriated Nasukawa, and he began to really press the legendary Floyd.
His opponent right now. Oh, Nasukawa throwing that left. switches angles. Body shot.
But no matter how good the prodigy was, Mayweather reminded him that boxing was his turf.
Unloading here. Mayweather with a
Starting to fight against the young star in full force, Floyd made a real starfall at the overcrowded Saitama arena.
Mayweather just comes in and throws his own body shot. A beautiful right hand dropping his opponent. My goodness, the speed of Money Mayweather. Still at 41 years old.
The legend was beating the Japanese like a helpless child. Nasukawa felt like he was in a cage with a lion.
Nasukawa's doing everything he possibly can, and Mayweather drops him again!
After another crushing blow from Floyd, Nasukawa's cornerman threw in the towel to save the prodigy's future career.
And his corner has thrown in the towel! This fight hasn't even gone!
Mayweather celebrated his victory as if he had become the undisputed world champion. Feeling so helpless in front of someone for the first time, Nasukawa couldn't hold back the tears, and this defeat remained in his heart forever.
And obviously, a very emotional Nasukawa.
But back in his familiar environment, Nasukawa came to his senses and once again began destroying opponents in his trademark style. After crushing another pack of opponents and even defeating the great Kyoji Horiguchi, Nasukawa could confidently call himself the best kickboxer in the world. Meanwhile, another notorious fighter from Japan named Takeru Sagawa, champion of 3 K1 divisions, was terrifying everyone. Fans of both fighters hungered for years to see the fight between the greatest fighters ever, but organizers refused them because of the Cold War between the Rizin and K1. However, at the end of 2021, the president of Rizin announced that the organization's ego couldn't stand above the desires of the spectators, so they organized the fight that would determine the greatest kickboxer in the world. The fight was held on June 19, 2022, at a neutral venue. By that point, Takeru was riding a successful streak of 35 wins in a row, and so the long-awaited fight kicked off. Throughout the first round, Tenshin plagued Takeru with his lightning-fast attacks. And then delivered a hot cross straight to the address. The fighters showed such a fiery first round that there was no limit to the audience's delight. The fight continued, and Nasukawa unleashed his signature combination, and then he laid a Tokyo jab beat on Sagawa. Takeru realized he was about to lose, so he decided to literally work with his head, sneakily headbutting Tenshin. This despicable blow blinded Tenshin and caused him serious damage. Nasukawa struggled to recover for a long time, but still continued the fight. It was only after his opponent's injury that Sagawa was able to fight Tenshin on equal terms. But apparently he didn't know that an injured lion is a very dangerous lion. Sagawa miraculously managed to survive and escape the knockout, but of course he couldn't save himself from defeat. After this incredible fight, our hero announced that he was leaving kickboxing and going to conquer new heights, thanking all his fans for their support. By 2024, Tenshin Nasukawa proved to everyone that he was one of the best kickboxers on the planet. At 25 years old, the Japanese could be proud of himself, but he still had an open goal and dreamed of conquering professional boxing. The sadness of losing to Mayweather was like poison eating him from the inside, and he wanted to prove to himself and the world that he could succeed in the sweet science. But this time he started from a lower level and gradually went to the top. But Nasukawa had another goal in front of him, the WBO Asia Pacific title, and only by obtaining that he would fulfill his dreams. Gerwin Asilo, an experienced professional boxer, was the other contender. Both. In the end, Tenshin Nasukawa won by unanimous decision and became the WBO Asia Pacific champion.
Tenshin Nasukawa!
Now Tenshin goes on a series with 6 wins in a row in a professional boxing, and his career looks promising. Share in the comments which Nasukawa fight you liked the most. Like and subscribe to Boxing Game. Thanks for watching.